Welcome to the carbon cycle. We are going to learn all about how carbon is cycled, hence it's called the carbon cycle. Okay, we're going to start off with carbon in the form of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This carbon in the atmosphere is then absorbed by plants. Plants are the only things that can fix carbon, and they change that carbon into another different type. They first fix it as glucose in the process of photosynthesis, and that glucose is converted to other lipids, carbohydrates, proteins. So all living things in the world are carbon based, and that carbon is first made available by trees in photosynthesis. The next process is feeding. So how is that carbon passed, or those carbon based molecules passed along to other things? By feeding. So primary consumers will feed on producers, and secondary consumers will feed on primary consumers, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the arrows are just showing the movement of carbon. Okay, next up is death. Death in digestion and waste. So cow poos and wheezes and then dies. A tree can also die and its leaves are on the ground. So we have all this dead organic matter. So we have carbon compounds locked up in dead organic matter. So this process here is going to be death. That dead organic matter is then decomposed by decomposers. So that process is called decomposition. Decomposers include things like worms, fungi, bacteria. They're all the little things in the soil that you often don't see that rot away everything, because that stuff doesn't disappear, it rots. And rotting is eating by this other stuff, these decomposers. So they're eating all the dead stuff. That dead stuff can also incompletely decompose, and that's when you get the formation of fossil fuels like coal, oil, gas, peat. So when there's not enough oxygen available, you get incomplete decomposition. So at the base here, this is all decomposition. What happens to those fossil fuels? Well, those fossil fuels will get burned in power plants in the process of combustion. So combustion, burning of fossil fuels releases CO2 and H2O into the atmosphere. Where does the rest of the CO2 come? Well, all these living things respire. So cows respire, animals respire, trees respire, these decomposers all respire, all living things respire. So I'm going to put a little red R for respiration here, here, and here. We're going to put a green F for feeding here, and we're going to put a blue PS for photosynthesis to show all the different processes. And that's the carbon cycle.